One of the things that has been very helpful for myself is this element of producing more than we consume. So here at the Brown School, I study social entrepreneurship. Well, a big part of entrepreneurship without the social side is just this element of creating things that you then sell and starting your own businesses with those enterprises. And when I talk about social entrepreneurship, I'm more so talking about developing businesses, ideas, and enterprises that are actually contributing back not only to your own life, but to the lives of others and to the lives of our communities. And I firmly believe in the ability of all of us to become producers more than we are consumers. Well, in my own life, it was a little bit different. That element of production became more so of saying, here's the skill that I have. Here's something that I can produce. I can paint a picture. So why not paint that picture and then sell it to someone else? Why not commission someone to have me paint a picture for them and then make profit off of that? Becoming entrepreneurial in the way that we make our revenues in our own personal lives. So, there's a lot of elements to this journey that I feel like tries to stop us from being producers. And part of that is our addiction to buying, our addiction to consumption. In many cases, balancing our finances often means consolidating and controlling how we spend. And I don't know about yourselves, but I do have those guilty pleasures. If you know me, you know that I'm a big candy lover. I will spend $5 a day on candy every day. And those little things, maybe for you it's cigarettes, maybe for you it's lotto tickets, maybe for you it's going out and eating out every day. But those little things, they start to add up. So we got to think about how we can change our lifestyles in order to consolidate what we're consuming so that even if we are not producing a lot, it still is outweighing how much we're spending. So, that's an element that I've been learning most recently in life because I'm still pretty young, and I'm still pretty young and dumb. And in many cases, if you put me in a mall, if you put me in a store, I'm gonna rack up on some things. So learning this lesson, producing more than we consume, is something that's really, really crucial. But with this, we also gotta be smart. And one of the quotes that I remember a lot is how I was told as a kid, make sure that you're reading, that you're staying up to date on things because the secrets to life lie in books. And in many cases, I'll put this into a race setting, with many of us who are Black or Latino, we are more impoverished than other cultures in this nation. And many times this is because we are not being equipped as much, and we're not finding those avenues to equip and enhance our own skill sets. And in this element, a lot of the knowledge are in the books that we're not reading. And they say, if you want to, if there's something that you want to hide from a Black person, put it in a book. And I think about that a lot. So I'm always trying to read as much as I can of these resources. The Susie Orman, the Money Book for the Young, Fabulous, and Broke. That's been one of the most crucial things for me because of the fact that it says you can have a lifestyle that you want to live being frugal. You don't have to spend tons of money to have a balanced and healthy lifestyle. There are ways to still be fabulous without putting yourself in further and further debt. In addition to that, there are a lot of resources on getting smart that are not necessarily dealing with education. I believe highly in high education, but in many cases in our communities, there are free resources and seminars and workshops that are to our disposal, but we don't know about. So educating yourself to find out what's in your own area, and identifying those skills that you want to enhance, and finding those resources. And then finally, on this topic of getting smart, mentorship. Just by a show of hands, how many of you in here can say that you have at least one mentor who is helping you with your social, your professional, your financial life? Okay, a good number, but not everyone. And mentorship has been one of the biggest influences in my life, because where I come from, there weren't a lot of people who had made it. There weren't a lot of people who had advanced education. There weren't a lot of people who owned their own businesses. But by putting yourself out there to say, this is what I want for my life, and here are people who I can identify who are on the same path, then use those people. Like, connect with those people and learn from them. In many cases, this doesn't even have to be someone who's rich or famous or have a big title. It can be someone who in your life has made financial mistakes but overcame them, so that you don't have to make those same mistakes. Like, that's about as simple as it gets. It can also be someone in your life who is like your same age, your same whatever, but they're balanced. And recognizing that, letting go of our own ego and our own pride and our own inability to open up and be open to what others can share with us and what we can share with others in our lives. Like, sometimes that's the biggest barrier to overcome. So get smart. That's a big one. And then next, I would even say creating more bold visions for our life is something that is really powerful as well. And a couple of years ago, I learned this lesson in a very, very hard way. I was living here in St. Louis, had a pretty decent job, but just all of a sudden decided to quit everything. Moved away from Memphis, did a fellowship, but as soon as that fellowship ended, I had no job. I had to move back into my mother's house. And I literally was at one of the lowest points in my life, because I felt like, I knew better. I knew better than to quit and give up and find myself in this place where, I didn't have a way out. And I ended up taking this job. And in my case, this was a job where I felt like I was settling. I was just getting a job just to have a job, just to have my mom say, like, I was not being lazy. And in this job, it was called L&J Associates, and the job description for it read, this is a marketing position, is merit-based pay, which ended up meaning commission, and I wasn't good at it. It was not in line with my passion. It was not in line with my skill set. I was just there to be there. And what the job ended up encompassing was going door to door, selling AT&T to people in residential areas across Memphis. And the way that you got paid going door to door was by every application that you were able to secure throughout a day. So on any given day, you would knock on 40 doors, 40 houses, and maybe get one sale. And that one sale only equaled $100. So if you went a day without making a sale, well, your check at the end of the week was only about $100, sometimes less than that after taxes. Well, I wasn't good at this job. And I found myself having many, many paychecks where I was only making $98, $65 because somebody canceled after buying the service. And it got me to a place where I had a car note, I had insurance, I had a cell phone, and I couldn't pay for any of this. And I'll admit to you, I'm fine with admitting this. This messed up my credit. This messed up this part of my life back in 2010, 2011. I'm still paying for it. But at that time in my life, I created a vision for myself. Some people call it a 5-year plan. Some people call it whatever else. But I knew that by 2016, I wanted to be in a completely different place. And part of this is because I was unwilling to settle anymore. Once you get to a point in your life where you've had enough, and you've really, really had enough, you'll make those changes. You'll find that fire, you'll identify that passion, and really pursue the things that you want to do. But the question is, are you tired yet? Are you tired of struggling? Are you tired of being at a place in life where things are unbalanced? If that answer is no, then maybe some of the things that we learned today will help, but we have to get to that point where we really, really want more for ourselves, more for our circumstances, even more for our communities. And setting that bold vision for your life is one of those strategies that will help get us there.